Boleh Venaka.
I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and what brand you represent.
Um, Name is Daniela Vaumbula. I hail from the beautiful islands of Fiji, uh, village of Tumbao, island of Lakamba, district of Lau, and I represent a clothing brand called the Bulaboy.
How did Bulaboy begin? What led to this idea of Bulaboy?
Bulaboy started off purely by accident, I would say. I started off with the Grey Coats alumni. I printed T-shirts to fundraise for a bigger purpose. It wasn't for myself; it was to raise funds for the Grey Ops operation for Silver Grammar School. That has been 5 years in the running. So I printed T-shirts, sold it, with proceeds to go towards our Grey Coats operation. We started 5-6 years ago. We've been doing that every year to support athletics, and every year I've done that, and it seemed the customers that bought those merchandise came back for more work, their own products, for their own projects, and it was supposed to be a one-time thing. I saw an opportunity there. Well, this looks like I could do this as a business. I take my hats off to Wasani Tandra. Seru of Wasani Tandra was a big influencer in my progress. He advised me on the routes to take, man. He took me around the background of his operations and kind of told me. I was so busy every day. It's usually around the Coke season. That was back in Fiji. It was so handful to stay up late at nights just doing that, and Seru advised me, if you really want to get into this is the steps to take. And that transitioned into America. When I came over to America, I stayed on to the Grey Coats project. Every year I try to meet a goal and to fund that project. I'm a proud grammarian. Whether I meet my mark or not, whether I make the sale profit or not, I pledge I'm gonna commit to this for the rest of my life and pledge to the operation gang. So, and for some reason I see an opportunity. I'm in America. I stumbled upon street brands. I became aware, man, I think I can do a Fiji brand. A big part of it was just representation. There's a lot of brands, mostly American brands. I wear them. I didn't really speak much to my roots. I'm a very proud Fijian, and I wanted to say something without speaking a word. So a clothing brand came into mind. So Bulaboy gave birth, and experimented for 2 years. Now I'm all in. There's no backing out. I don't know whether I'm gonna make it or not. And I'm trying to create a brand to represent all sons of Fiji who have ventured out of Fiji, waving the Fiji flag without a flag in their arm. It's whatever field they're in the military, British Army, in the rugby fields. Fiji is big on rugby. Wherever we are, I'm sure we are very patriotic. In whatever we do, we hold Fiji close to our chest, and we're very proud of it. And I've come up with a slogan that is close to my heart. It's about stamp your mark is the slogan. Like Fiji, Nike has just do it, and I felt like I could relate to this. Stamp your mark. As a Fijian, as an indigenous, I have a responsibility to represent not only my family, not only my clan, my district. I represent Fiji, and that's where the word stamp your mark. Whatever field you're in, make sure they know that you're a Fijian. So that's where the slogan comes from, stamp your mark.
Okay, so I think we've kind of answered the second question. What does Bulaboy mean to you?
Yeah, I'll also add to that. It means so deep and personal to me. It's not about making money, it's about I'm very deeply invested, I feel like it's not right. I'm not in it to make money. I'm in it to preach without preaching. I'm in it to represent without waving the Fiji flag. I'm in it to inspire without saying a word. So I feel like I only can put my best work out there.
Where do you see Bulaboy 5 years from now?
I see now I've started off with just street apparel, kind of observing from the market. I'm really overwhelmed and surprised by the attention I get. I started off just experimenting. I get orders from all over the world, from places I wouldn't even imagine. Japan, from France, from the UK, from Australia, from New Zealand, even from Fiji. So I started off a little bit, got kind of overwhelmed, wasn't really happy with the overall quality of the work that I'm doing, even though, and I've seen the potential, so I've kind of held back, just shut down everything, kind of like work on quality standards. But I'd like to see Bulaboy as kind of like a passport apparel for travelers, for ambassadors of Fiji who leave Fiji to go out, make a living, pursue greener pastures out of Fiji, whether it's in the military field, professional field, in rugby. I'd like them to be represented without waving the Fiji flag through the apparels they wear. So I'm working on passport apparels, and yeah, my next collection is athleisure, looking to launch around Christmas. But yeah, in 5 years' time, I like Fiji to also be in that market space where the corporate brands, Nike, Adidas, all these big corporate brands, I'd like Fiji to be on that space as well. And I'd like Fijians to wear Fiji brands. And you know, I've kind of decided to go with a warrior logo, holding a war club. So that war club for a man represents responsibility, accountability. It also represents being protective, being strong, being firm, and the warrior itself, you know, there's an identity. We are all warriors, Fijians. We come from that background, from that history. We are fierce people. We come from a cannibal background. You know, people. My grandma tell me, don't use that. The Christian grandmas, you know, don't use that. It's demonic. Blah, blah, blah. No, I see that as we are fierce, dangerous people, but with the same energy, we can put that something positive. So although I'm not home, I proudly represent Fiji, you know, quietly in my heart, and I'm doing that through my work. So I'd like to, capture part of the market. Honestly, it's not an easy struggle. There's no formula to the path I'm taking. I think it's unique to every individual. I think it has to be driven by something more than just making a profit. There has to be some kind of, because I tell you, if it was all for money, I would have thrown this project out the windows already. But man, I'd say business is about solving a problem. If you find a problem, people are looking for a solution to that. If you find a solution to that, people will pay you for that solution. So to me, I found that Fiji is not represented in the apparel on an international level. We have that all this resort wear, Wimbula, that is well represented. So many Fiji brands catering to that space, but I don't see us being represented in the sports and athleisure wear space, luxury space, and that is a solution that I'm trying to solve. So, you know, I want to see all our rugby international stars repping Bulaboy in the future. Yes.
Let's talk about Fiji Runway. How was Fiji Runway for you?
Whew! That was my first official gig. It was pretty smooth on the back end. From a creative perspective, you know, I'm always used to just doing t-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, done. That's 3 products I can sell. The Fiji Runway kind of demanded that I be more creative, so I really had to sit down and figure out 12 pieces, which is a bit stressful, you know. I planned for quite a few months, and I put all the pieces together within 24 hours. And then I never slept. Probably 24 hours before the show, I was so excited. It was so close, but I didn't feel pressured. I didn't feel stressed. I was working with joy, but I think Fiji runway is needed, especially if you're trying to break away just from the typical from the Fiji market. If you're trying to compete on an international level, I mean, America is the standard for everything: technology, fashion, business, industrial things. I think America is the space and the standard that everybody looks up to, and I think Fiji runway is providing a space that can bridge a Pacific Islander Fijian brand into the US market. So it's a great opportunity for me to showcase a collection, and I think Fiji runway is needed. Everybody in Fiji knows how to bake. Now imagine Oreo is a recipe. Oreo could have been served in a dish. You could be having Oreo in church right now after service. But just imagine the branding and the potential of that simple recipe, packaged and marketed. That is a worldwide brand. And just looking at this, what I'm trying to say, the potential that Fiji has with the creativity, and with the VT pearls, they try to step out from the village and make it the international brand. I think that is very foreign to us. We see other races who do that, and we feel like that's not for us. We work for them. We can never be in the forefront. So I feel like Fiji runway is encouraging that, and it seems to be a foreign concept, but it is a necessary concept. Yes. Thank you. That